Kanpai!
Kanpai!
Welcome, weebs, to this week's episode of Kanpai Cast. Today we are talking about the Trickster Hero, which is something that Thaylien has entirely made up on the spot. It does not truly exist, and we're going to prove him right by making it up even further.
Excellent. This is a plan.
But, as always, time for housekeeping. So, like, comment, subscribe, do the bell. Don't do the bell. Bells are cool. You always do bells. Especially if they're baby bells. Damn, I want cheese now.
Oh, I love Baby Bell cheese.
Not necessarily Taco Bells.
No, Nasuth. Your baby bell is disgusting compared to our baby bell. It's compared to the rest of the world's baby bell.
Sure it is.
100%. Right. So, housekeeping. Do all the usual YouTube stuff. We have audio versions, so you can either check us out on Spotify. No one does. Or you can check us out via your own podcast tool of choice, which at least one person does.
You can check us out when we're streaming, too.
To waste. Yep, you can check us out when we're streaming. Typically, I stream 3 times a week. Nasuth.
1. Usually.
Yep, what else is there?
And I avoid streaming like the plague.
Discord. Yeah, join Discord as well. There you go.
Join the Discord.
Alright.
But you can find Thaylien in some episodes of Notice Me Senpai. Like the one coming out this week. Briefly.
Oh, yes. Yes, in fact, I am. Zeno's looking very surprised because he doesn't know.
He has no idea.
Wait. I vaguely remember the joke now. Anyway. Right, okay. Right, should we get on with it? Go on, Thaylien, you lead your topic idea. Go on.
Alright, so
come on.
This one popped up. It's very simple. The idea is that in many anime, it's all about the action. It's all about learning some combat things. I
didn't even think of Dan as a Trickster Hero, but you know what? It would be. Sorry, that just popped up on the screen when we switched to the small people for anyone listening.
Indeed. So the idea simply being that there are other types of heroes out there. Ones that don't fix every problem by shouting about friendship and powering up. Ones that don't, call out their signature move and smack somebody in the face. Ones that don't get all moody like a teenager and hit something with a sword. Those kind of things. It's clever people exist, and occasionally they are really good characters in an anime. But it takes, clever writing to make them work. Somebody who's actually intelligent and clever to write a clever person. We've covered that part before. Clever, people writing clever people or stupid people writing clever people. So in this, we've brought just a few anime to the table to talk about any of our particular favorites or notable heroes who aren't combat oriented, who aren't the power of friendship oriented, and can in fact use their brain a bit to actually get around the problems they encounter.
Or even if they are combat oriented or friendship oriented, they're also sort of have a mischievous side, a playful side.
Definitely. Like Goblin Slayer. I mean, what? Oh, he definitely has a playful side. Who else would shoot an undersea water gun at an ogre? It's very playful. I'm sure the dolphins agree.
Who else would climb a non-Euclidean staircase?
Where we can't even see the stairs.
Exactly. That's a season 2, yes, for anyone who doesn't understand.
Yeah, the animation in season 2, not exactly the best. So, who wants to pick one that we can either pick apart or appreciate?
Well, I think you should lead the charge here. I mean, pick one.
We're going to have to go with KonoSuba then, if that's the case.
Okay.
I mean, it's on screen anyway. Because this is a man that did not get powers when he went to the other world deliberately. He thought he was outsmarting Aqua when he picked her to go with him to the other world instead of a power. And the only thing he got was unusually high luck stats. So he tried to build around that by giving himself weapons and things that were based off the luck stat. A spell like Steel, which works on the luck stat. And we see it does take effect. I do apologise for the cardboard ripping noises in the background, by the way. The cat is
just cat
enthusiastic right now. But we see him try to take the normal adventuring route, and it fails miserably, especially when Aqua's involved, getting attacked by giant frogs and nearly being defeated by flying cabbages. It could be a lot going on in this world, but Kazuma gets through it on his wits, on his street smarts almost. The problem is he doesn't really have a lot of those either.
I think it's more than that though, because he also, in dealing with these crazy people that he's got in his party, he figures out ways to use them in ways they may not like, or may like. So for instance, Aqua, he puts, when they need to purify that lake, traps her and locks her in a cage with surrounded by alligators to convince her to purify it.
Sorry.
Now this is not something that he should do.
No. I'm sorry to interject here. I'm going to correct you. You got that wrong.
Oh.
Aqua didn't want to share the bounty for purifying the lake. So it was a case of, well, how can she do it while protected? So she doesn't, so it was a case of she effectively volunteered to be in the cage so that the others weren't contributing, so that she could get the full reward.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So sorry to cut you off.
No, you're
there.
right. You're right. On the other hand, when they are in the wagon train and being chased by creatures, he takes Darkness and ties her up and
chains her up, throws her on the back,
bait,
drags her along behind them,
which she is totally there for. But it doesn't seem like the kind of thing a hero should do. It's the kind of thing a trickster would do.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that one is very much a case of a desperate measure sort of thing. You know, her perversion, so to speak, she will happily endure a lot of this crap in order to get her rocks off.
Yes.
But, they could have just stopped the wagon and just let her off. The only reason why the rocks, the birds, the ostriches, effectively, are running them down is so that they can actually just slam themselves into the densest thing there, which turns out to be Darkness's muscles. You know? So
we could go with season 3 then, where he literally dresses up as a different character to hide his identity.
Which time?
No. I will go for something a little even more simple than this. When he's short on money, what does he do? He uses steel on another hero's magical weapon and sells it.
No, that's not why he uses steel, though.
No,
right?
No, but that's it's not why he uses. But he has steel, and so he needs money. So so the second time he does it, it's just for money. The first time he does it is to get it away from him so he can win the duel. But when he realizes he can do that, it just got him more money the second time.
I thought the second time was a rematch of the same. It was like the same duel, and it's like, okay, now this is mine, and I'm going to sell it.
Something like that, yes. But if the first one was definitely, it's now mine. What do I do with it? I'm going to sell it. But the second time was definitely, oh yeah, this will get me a lot more money this time.
I'm going to remember the second time. Problem.
And how do you defeat female opponents that you don't want to hit?
I don't
things like that.
Okay, keep going. Just keep going.
The thing about Kazuma is he's not actually particularly intelligent. He's an average guy, and he's thrown into this world without the situation with the rocks chasing them and throwing darkness out the back. If he had been a hero with like one of those one-trick heroes that has one special ability, and then it becomes super overpowered over the course of a season, right? It would have been an excuse to find a way to use that ability. It wouldn't have been a way to draw those rocks in and let the other heroes kill them at the end of the chase. And the other adventurers kill them. It would have been.
I wish.
Okay, this isn't a desperation move. This is a distraction move, and I'll defeat them.
Have you both still not seen the third OVA from season 3?
Haven't.
Yeah, I haven't. No.
Oh man, both of those stories would work really well for this, but I don't want to spoil them.
Well, it's our fault. I mean, like,
Yeah. Let's just say that he tricks one party into thinking he's. So there are two stories. He tricks one party into thinking he's someone else because if they knew who he really was, they would be angry at him. And in the other one, he and all the other men in town are pretending that they're going to fight this water demon or water goddess. Sorry, water spirit? Maybe not a goddess, maybe a spirit. But their real goal is to try and get all the women's bathing suits to blow off. So, I mean, it's very trickstery.
Definitely a heroic goal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a man who can't survive being a action adventurer. He has to be a trickster. He can't do it directly himself. And there's something
I don't know whether he was successful in either of those either.
No, but still, he manages. The only reason he's still alive is using what wits he has, and circumstance, and the ridiculous nature of the party he's formed around him.
Kazuma's biggest enemy is Kazuma.
On a minor tangent, I've got to ask our audience, do you mind us eating while doing these episodes? I just want to double check, because I know some people have, like, misophonia and things. Is it misophonia? Just want to triple check.
I'm not chewing while I'm talking, am I?
It's food in your mouth and I can fucking hear it.
Yeah, I had a little bit in my mouth too, but I'm kind of done now.
Then. I'm sorry.
Anyway, but
it's okay. Xeno burps into the microphone all the time.
I do.
We all have.
And I am sorry. I find belches just so funny.
We all have our issues.
Okay, I feel a Trickster Hero character, from what you're trying to define, is someone like Horo or Hollow. I still don't know which one it's supposed to be. The main crux of this is, yes, she can turn into her wolf form and beat up the bad guys and everything, but she prefer
to be playful and cute and tease Lawrence.
No, it's not that. It's not just that, but it's also she is really well versed in like economics and things like this. I think the most easiest example of this is where Lawrence is traveling to a nearby town, and he has were they wolf furs or were they fox furs? I don't know. He had furs, right? He had animal pelts,
some kind of pelt,
and she had him spend a lot of money on some apples, right? As she was eating the apples, she was disposing of the cores on the pelts. Right? Yes. She was throwing them on the pelts. And as a result, the pelts were smelling of the apples. So there was this sweet scent to them. And as a result, she upped the value of these pelts, even though it was only going to be superficial and last barely any time at all. Right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I think that is potentially a good example of what you are describing.
Kind of, yes. Yeah. So it's somebody who, in this case, she can survive on being an action hero if she really wanted to, if she was that type of person. But she would prefer to do things subtly and in a smart fashion and get better results because of it.
I mean, in her case, it's partly because the world that she finds herself in is not exactly safe for her. So there is a certain amount of subtlety needed. But I think even if that wasn't the case, she would still be the type of person who would try to do that line before anything else. I mean, even when she was in her homeland, right, and she was safe there, perfectly safe there, she still played the trickster to get Kraft to take her with it, or take her with him, right?
No, but she didn't do that out of trickery. Like she was alone. Like the villagers had forgotten about her. She was nothing more than a folk tale, and she wanted to go home back north. But she was able to hitch a ride with Kraft because he had a bundle of wheat in his
but he was
cart.
gonna take her. He was gonna take her back, and until she got him not to not.
What?
He was gonna take her back.
Oh, sorry. Back to the village. Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like, I was talking about.
No, sorry, not take her back.
I
home. Reject you and now I take you back. No. Sorry. Yes, back to the village.
Yeah. No, not back to the north, but back to the village. Potentially yes, but at the same time, like she transformed in front of him to prove that try it, mate. I'll eat you. And she is an interesting character in that regard, but
she's also just very impish in personality, which I think goes big to being
impish?
a trickster.
What do you mean impish?
Mischievous. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you
playful.
Yeah. Slightly bratty.
Yeah.
But bratty more in the thing of I'm going to annoy you until you give me hugs kind of thing than
she knows that
I don't like what you're doing and I want to throw a tantrum.
She knows that her nudity upsets Kraft. Not like makes him angry, but upsets him in like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed sort of way. And so she purposefully uses that to tease him. That sort of behavior. Because to her, it doesn't matter. Like, to her, it's nothing,
See,
well,
can you think of other ones, in the show where she did, because the phrase that I would use in that respect is you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. And can you think of any of other times when she has adjusted the outcome without seeming to have done so with a deliberate plan? Like the apples. She wanted some apples, eat some apples. She disposed of them on the furs. They smelled of apples. That raised the value. But it could be argued she did it that way on purpose, or it could be argued she did it that way by accident.
Oh no! I mean, like everything she does is very purposeful. But in appearance, there was not so much mischievous, but it was certainly like concerning when she helped someone else seemingly abuse the market value of, was it gold? I can't remember if it was gold or something else.
Right. Was this the guy that brought them the idea of like currency exchanging, and she knew something was weird, something was up, and so like they laid a trap? No,
okay. It was after that story. It was basically, the idea was that you buy the surplus of a specific metal, and you wait for the value of that metal to get to its highest point when the demand is high.
Because you've got all of it. It's sort of the same way that the diamond market is regulated, because they release only as much as they want, so they keep the value high. Yeah.
So
Fun fact about diamonds, guys. There are as many diamonds in the world as there are amethysts. Amethysts were going to become the most expensive thing before they discovered how plentiful they were. But then turned out there's just as many diamonds, but by that point, only one family controlled like 90% of the diamond production.
Regardless of that, so the idea was that she would crash the market ahead of anyone else. So that way, like, the first person that sold all their X resource would get the most of it, and then it would cause an influx of everyone else trying to sell at the same time. Yeah. So
and the supply would go up, and so the price would go down.
Exactly. So yeah, that's but the thing was, it wasn't mischievous why she was doing that. She did it to effectively abuse the system, and I think it was a perfect example of shorting the market.
Oh, so, sure, yeah.
So no, it's not this. She's doing it to be mischievous. Is she doing it in a mischievous fashion, a trickster fashion?
Nope.
I think trickster, yes, mischievous, not necessarily.
She's tricking the others to allow her to get a head start on them, so she gets her own thing.
It's very much cloak and daggers. It's very much like, people. It's more.
That's what a trickster is, by and large, is cloak and dagger stuff.
No, it's more like a game of poker. Like it's everyone's hiding their hand,
Yeah. And tricking each other.
But again, one tricks, such as a dishonest person who defrauds others by trickery, a person skilled in the use of tricks and illusion, or a cunning or deceptive character appearing in various forms. And that's not. I mean, it's not necessarily an exclusive definition, but that's not a bad one to go with.
Yeah, but it's also very fucking broad.
It is.
Like, what's the difference between someone that's a trickster and someone that's crafty or cunning?
Crafty and cunning might be synonyms, actually.
Yeah, they are. Cunning is actually usually associated more with the ability to react and set traps for something than tricky, which is more actual plotting it out.
Oh, wow. Trickster does seem to have a much more, based on the synonyms, a much more negative term.
Yes.
Than we might be giving it.
Exactly. So, cunning, an animal can
Rascal,
be cunning.
prankster.
So an animal like a cat can be cunning in the way it prowls and stalks its prey, leading things to run or to be available to pounce on just by particular placement or the way it acts. Whereas a trickster is definitely somebody who is... Yeah, because adventurers can be tricksters. In fact, some of the best adventurers in history, in mythology, have been tricksters, like Odysseus.
Right.
Anyway. Okay, then go for another one.
I think it's hard to not talk about Joseph Joestar, personally.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Okay. Yes.
Thinking of at least two major examples. One of them being the way he always says, "Next, you're going to say," pretending that he has some kind of special psychic ability when he really doesn't. But it gets under the other people's skin. It makes them, especially at the end, kind of works in his favor to disarm them mentally. And then the other one is his super runaway power. Makes him think he's gonna fight, and then he just, bam, he's out of there.
I think realistically the best example is actually when he was fighting cars at the end. And he ends up, launching the pair of them into high orbit.
Yeah.
Just to completely and utterly fuck up cars.
See, he knows he's not strong enough to beat the guy outright, so he manages to trick him. And the fact he's genuinely a fraud when he comes to his habit of saying, and the next thing you're going to say is, and convincing people that he knows what's in their brain, but he doesn't. He has no idea.
Yeah.
He's just guessing every time. So he's definitely a trickster hero in that respect.
But I don't think that's like. I think that's a simple case of it's the obvious reaction.
Of course it is. But the way he phrases it makes them think he knows what they're going to say without it, because he could just see into their brain, right? Or see the future or whatever. And that's the trickster element of it, is he's the way he's couching it to make it seem like it's more than it is.
It's the whole framing of the trickster archetype is that anybody could have predicted that would be the next thing they said, but by saying the next thing you're going to say is, and convincing them that it was all that. It convinces the other person that it was all his plan, that he was the one that actually set up traps and things.
Okay.
I mean, doesn't he kind of start the series out as being a bit of a con man in New York?
No, he's protecting people from like muggers and shit like this. Like at one point in time, you know, this kid is end up in a fight with some random guy, and then you know that's where the whole runaway thing is. Right. From things.
So here's a question: how much of this trickster behavior does Joseph retain when he gets into like Stardust Crusaders?
None.
I don't feel like he actually retains any.
Yeah, I don't think he retains any. Like, give me an example. Anymore. Yeah, give me an example. What? No, he is a protagonist. He's just not the main character.
Yeah, he's not the protagonist.
Sorry, I thought you said A, but anyway. But even so, right, okay, so when is there any point in time when he does anything like this when he's Old Man Joseph? As Thaylien scarfs his food down.
I don't think there is a really example of it.
Yeah, so I don't think he retains any of it. I think he just you know, as soon as he gets older, is like the whole Trickster thing goes. But okay, fine. Yeah. So I want to pivot, right? Goblin Slayer, right? So Goblin Slayer, I would say, is exceptionally tactical. He's exceptionally crafty. He's exceptionally strategic. I would not say he is a trickster in any way, shape, or form. Right? The idea of
sorry, continue.
No. The idea of him using a portal scroll as a high pressure water cannon is ingenious, right?
Yeah,
but
crafty.
not really that of you know, he didn't trick anyone into doing anything. He's just like, okay, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna
Yeah, no, I'm with you. So I don't think he's as much of a trickster hero as he is more of an action hero. But he knows his limits and he knows his targets. So tactics that other people wouldn't consider are the most effective tactics in the world. You know, there's a common thread throughout history of people who have used tactics to outsmart the opponent. In general, are considered very crafty or cunning, you know, tacticians. So one of the things he had to be aware of is that the goblins use cunning, crafty tactics as well, or tricky tactics, like the very simple idea of putting a totem lit by torches at the seeming start of their tunnels, with a clear pathway going past it, but their actual tunnel is at an angle behind it, you know, going back the other direction, so people don't see it until they're coming back the other way. And so that allows goblins to sneak up behind you, even though you think there's only one way in. And so he's aware of that and starts setting his own traps. So he makes tripwires ahead of them. He makes ranged attacks at the first goblins to come and investigate, so that he can't be seen initially. He uses the scent of the goblin's own blood on his weapons so that he can't be detected as easily. Okay, these are all tactics, but it's crafty, it's cunning. It's not really trickster.
Yeah.
I think there is a bit of overlap because both of them can use deceptive behavior to get to reach their ends.
Yes.
But again,
one of them is more playful versus calculated.
Yes.
But that's what I'm talking about in terms of Joseph Joestar, is the fact that, you know, to me, the only difference between Goblin Slayer and Joseph is the fact that Joseph is more playful. And that's it. That's like the only exclusive difference between the two.
Yeah. And
I don't
that's
think
the
that's a bad way
difference
to
between trickster and cunning. I think is the attitude behind it, and the way that somebody might enjoy it. Enjoys tricking them, enjoys getting the upper hand, versus Goblin Slayer's completely workmanlike. Right, that worked. We'll now kill them.
If Goblin Slayer wasn't such a tragic character, based on his backstory,
solid and stoic all the time.
Right? Yeah, because of what happened in his backstory, I think he could be a playful, mischievous character, but because of dear,
crikey, I'm going to fix that. Don't worry, I should still be here at one voice so I can hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Don't worry about that. Oh, the cat's just literally pulled the cable out.
Oh, Ray.
I am so mad at you right now, but you're adorable.
So yeah, because of how his backstory has shaped him to be this very solid, dependable character. He's no Han Solo.
But I feel at the same time the argument can be made that if it wasn't for his tragic backstory, like, he wouldn't be Goblin Slayer, he would be random farm boy, it's like, I don't feel that
he wouldn't have had the motivation to go out and learn to slay goblins the way he has.
I mean, like, I would say, like, yeah, I mean, I grant it, experience shapes the person, but when it comes to someone like Lupin III, right? Lupin's a brilliant trickster. Like, I think potentially
the best
top pick for all of this,
yeah.
Right? But we don't know. No, we don't know any of Lupin's motivations to get to this point. Like, what is it that...
I think actually we do, but it's not in, like, the main series. It's in some of the movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, just picture something, Xeno. If Goblin Slayer still had the same tragic backstory, right? Mm-hmm. But instead of making him quiet and stoic and thing, it did a bit of a Joker to him, where he started laughing at the tragedy. Not so much the thing, but he took enjoyment from killing the goblins. So that when he approached people, he would have his helmet up and he would smile and say, "Come on, let's go kill some goblins." So, and if we put this tripwire right here, look, they'll come running up and I'm going to shoot in the face. It's going to be amazing.
And then he laughs when they fall over it,
Well, no, not when they fall over, but he's more like self-impressed, so that when they do die, he turns to the person he's just rescued and say, "See?" Like, he's trying to get them to enjoy the moment as well.
I feel like you're just describing a psychopath at that point.
It could be. Okay,
imagine it's not. It's only a psychopath towards goblins, and everyone else is more. He seems completely normal and well-adjusted.
I think I have a better way to do it. So he doesn't have the tragic backstory, but he is still a clever person, right? That doesn't change because that's just, he's born with being clever, right? But so he doesn't have the tragic backstory, but he does realize that goblins are still a bigger threat than people give them credit for. And so he decides he's going to be the one that takes care of them. But he doesn't have the dark, brooding nature. He puts his heart into it. He wants to protect other people. He's okay with making friends rather than just being a loner. That he could still end up in the same spot, but not with the same attitude.
But I feel that, like, if we look at Lupin, right?
Again,
we're talking about deception. We're talking about misdirection. We're talking about effectively a performance the entire time.
Yes.
I could never see that in someone like Goblin Slayer, and I just about see it in Joseph Joestar, right? Like,
I agree. Goblin Slayer as he is, definitely not Trickster
not just as he is, but like his whole like character would have to be just completely different. Like you'd have to do just this is just a different character entirely.
Oh yeah,
like, different backstory, different.
Oh, that's what I'm suggesting, though, isn't it? Is he doesn't have the tragic backstory. He does still see an issue with goblins, and so, but he comes out with a completely different attitude because of it. It would not be Goblin Slayer as we know it. He probably wouldn't even call himself Goblin Slayer. Nobody else would really call him Goblin Slayer necessarily. No. It would be a completely different story.
The show would still be Goblin Slayer, but the character would be completely different.
Right, but why is Lupin the way he is when we have no idea what Lupin's backstory is?
I know for sure that he is he is from a line of thieves, so it's in his blood. But his training and stuff, I don't know if we know too much about that. I'd have to really watch all the movies or read all the manga or whatever to know for sure. Or go look at a wiki.
So
I could go look at a wiki.
The thing about Lupin is that what he's doing, he believes that it doesn't really harm anybody. Okay, thievery is not a harmful practice, so he can go about it enjoying. Well, he enjoys the thrill of the breaking and entering. He enjoys the being the smarter person and getting one over on the people trying to catch him. It's a entirely selfish thing, but because he thinks that he's not creating any real victims, they're just poorer, or that they just don't own one of these artifacts or whatever he's after. It's not only how he justifies it to himself, it's how he actually can really get his whole persona behind all of the things involved with it. He enjoys riding fast cars to get away from the police. He enjoys the planning. He enjoys the ability to lord it over the people that he escapes from, that he's not been caught by them. Right? So that makes, to me, that enjoyment makes it more of a trickster than but not really a hero.
I mean, we do actually have a history on Lupin, but I'm not going to go into it.
I feel that it's, to me, like the main characters that I think we have that fall under the category of being tricksters. We're looking at Lupin, we're looking at probably Shiro and Sora from No Game No Life, Horo, maybe Sonraku from Shangri-La Frontier, and that's about it.
No, Gojo, definitely Gojo.
Satoru Gojo?
Yeah, 100% Satoru Gojo.
Why do you say that? He's definitely
just
one
his
of the
attitude.
most. I'm going to use all my most powerful attacks on you, and that because he has attitude, not because he's smarter than you, just because he's so self-satisfied that he's created these incredible techniques. And he believes he's untouchable because of them. But I
would also say the way he teaches the main character, Itadori. Yeah.
Itadori,
the way he teaches Itadori to control his powers by giving him the bear that punches him in the face when he starts to go out of control. That is a very trickstery move to me.
It is she's taking.
It's not just straight up normal training. It's very seemingly obtuse training, but it works.
I think that's just him coming up with ways to be the smug, self-satisfied master. He wants to be Mr. Miyagi, but cool.
But can't you also be a trickster while doing that? I mean, it's not.
If you count Mr. Miyagi as a trickster because of the whole, do the wax on, wax off motions until you're used to it.
Mr. Miyagi's a bit of a trickster.
Will be used to that. Yeah, he is a bit of a trickster. So you get used to that motion, and then when you react, that's the motion you make. That's in theory. So yeah, Mr. Miyagi's got a bit of a trickster to him in terms of the training. So, but in terms of motivation, I definitely think that his motivation for being the trickster attitude is because he's a smug, self-obsessed bastard. To be perfectly honest with you,
I don't feel Satoru Gojo is a trickster. I think he might be playful. I think he might be full of himself. I think he has an ego the size of the sun.
Yes.
But
that's true.
I do not feel him to be a trickster.
See, I think part of it is that he uses his attitude to cover up the tragic feelings he has underneath. And I think that also kind of counts.
I've got it. Okay. This is a man who has the 6 eyes. He has infinite. He has the techniques of blue, red, and purple. He is so powerful, right, in terms of everybody else. Now that he's got these things, in theory, that he wants to do things the funnier way for himself.
Yes.
Because he can always fall back on that power. So he can do whatever the heck he likes, and he's out there to have fun.
But I argue that...
I mean?
No, because, like, at the same time, whenever we've seen him use his abilities, he uses his abilities to the max. We've seen him more memed doing his stuff than...
Well, no,
wait.
know, like, in the flashback section, hidden memory, doesn't he get... Wait, is it hidden memory or is it after that? When the guy who can carry curses with him but isn't actually a Jujutsu sorcerer attacks the school, doesn't he convince him to think he's been murdered? You know, he's been killed, but he actually hasn't.
Yes, but that's a more of a. He has all his power and he can use it, and he just thinks, "Well, I'm going to win."
Well, letting the bad guys think they have the upper hand for a second is still a trick to me. It's still part of the trickster attitude.
It is.
I'm not going to lie.
It is a trickster attitude, but not an actual trickster. If you see what I mean.
I'm not going to lie. I actually think I struggle to understand what happened in that part. I actually feel like Gojo was defeated flat out. It wasn't a trick. He came back. And Gojo kind of went a bit insane because he worked out a new ability that allowed him to just, kick ass and chew gum. I don't feel like he was tricking. I want to say Tojo.
I think you're right. I think it is Tojo.
That sounds familiar. Yes.
But I don't think he was tricking him because I think he was genuinely defeated. I think he was like, because I think he came back all bloodied and bruised and everything. Yes, but he came back realizing, I have a hidden third act, or hidden third art, or, if I combine these two... Yeah, if I combine these two things together, I can kick his ass. That was my understanding of the situation.
But it's the only trick was the convincing the opponent that he was actually dead at the time. So he was defeated, just not dead. That's why Tojo moved on. So there was an element of a trick there, but it wasn't him being a trickster. It's just the attitude.
Oh my god, why do we not have Sid Kagano on this list?
Okay.
Self-respect.
I feel like we're kind of dancing around in circles with this one, so go on, Nasuth. Why Sid Kagano? I mean, do
yeah.
Yes, you do have to explain.
Go into detail. Let's talk about the things he does and why you believe they're trickster stuff.
He uses several different personalities, including Mundane Man and John Smythe. He convinces other opponents that they might be able to beat him, only so he can then turn around and beat them instead. He, in the first big arc, when the school gets attacked, he convinces the bad guys that they've killed him by stopping his heart, essentially, but keeping the blood pumping using magic, so that he can get back up and make, after they've left. It's everything he does is in the service of tricking people into thinking he's weaker than he is, so that he can come in as the shadow and do shadow thing, cool shadow things.
But this is
Yeah,
akin to
I can see
Batman
that.
pulling stupid shit.
Raina did it again.
She's literally walked up and done it again.
No, but like seriously, this is akin to Batman. Bruce Wayne faking getting beaten
Yeah,
out
but
of the
Bruce-
shit out of.
But Bruce Wayne doesn't usually get into fights. He usually acts like a chicken and wants to run away. You know, that's Sid Kagano. Sure, he's like, oh, I need to poop so we can get out of something. But a Mundane Man and John Smythe, no, they want to be in the action. He wants to start initially with like making people think that he may not be as a big opponent as he is. Especially Mundane Man, who wins the tournament.
But that's akin to. Well, I thought the tournament got cancelled because.
Okay. He was winning the tournament until.
Yeah, he was,
Aurora
and then
showed
they
up.
called Sid. They called up Sid to go fight this thing, and then Sid turned up as Shadow, and then for I can't remember the name of the female character, the hero of legend. No.
I'm not talking about the very very ending. I'm talking about the other tournament where he opened up the doorway. What he was, yeah. You don't remember that one? Okay, never mind.
No, keep going.
Clearly,
Keep going. Just keep going.
So
Keep going.
before the ending tournament, there was a midpoint tournament, where where Baldy's in charge at that point, and all the shadows. Baldy.
Who the fuck is Baldy?
He's a short little bald noble who we find out is from the ancient world when they still had science, and he's essentially immortal because of the Diablo cells that they use to make the little red immortality pills. But he keeps aging all the same, so he's like lost all his hair. So they during that whole section they enter the sanctuary. All the shadows enter. Sid is in there. He meets I think it's Aurora, and also the elf who's being mind controlled by Baldy.
I hate this show. I hate it with a fucking passion. It's nonsensical. It's nonsensical gibberish.
It's not. I'm just bad at explaining things. Yeah. But during that whole section, he tricks everyone into thinking, like the beginning, he tricks everyone into thinking Mundane Man is no threat. There's even a guy that's all dressed in gold armor who calls himself the Undefeated, but it's because he always only fights people that he knows he can win against. And he thinks Mundane Man has no battle ranking at all. He's a complete zero. And then he gets in a fight with him and loses instantly because, Sid tricked him.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a question for you. No. Let me talk. Here's a question for you. If Sid hiding his power is tricking the opponent, does that mean that the Z-Force or the Z-Warriors, whatever the fuck they're called in Dragon Ball Z, are tricksters because they suppress their power levels?
Depends.
Is Freeren a trickster because she suppresses her mana?
Yeah, she does it for serious reasons. She's a serious demon hunter, therefore she suppresses her power. So
Sid doesn't have fun. On this one. I think that's the difference.
Sid, I agree with Sid, because Sid is doing it on purpose to literally trick people, to be that Eminence in Shadow, be Shadow. He wants to trick everybody.
He's doing it to have fun, whereas other people are doing it for tactical reasons.
So with the Z fighters, a lot of the suppressing the power levels is more just because it means they can interact with the world without breaking it. There are occasional ones, like Krillin, for example, suppresses his power level specifically to evade people that can sense power levels. He literally brings his power level down so low so that he can actually sneak up on people that can sense power levels.
Right,
but he only does that occasionally.
But what about oh crap!
Early Dragon Ball had Yamcha because he was the Desert Bandit and set pit traps and things for people.
Right. So what about Freeren?
Yeah.
Right. That's the more interesting. Is Freeren a trickster?
I think Friren's more cunning in that respect. She's not really a trickster because
She's doing it
her thing is specifically, is a tactic. She's more like Goblin Slayer. She's using a specific tactic to draw in a specific enemy and make them think that she's weaker than she is, so that she can kill them.
See, this whole thing is screaming to me that the only defining quality of a trickster is their attitude, and that's it.
Yes.
Right? Like, it doesn't matter if they're crafty, or if they're cunning, or if they're strategic, or if they're... It doesn't matter.
It does.
It's just...
But it has to be done in service of their attitude.
Yes.
So, like, I wouldn't necessarily say Luffy, even though Luffy is on our list, or Pikachu even. I wouldn't necessarily call them tricksters, because they're not... Well, I can't speak for Luffy, I suppose. But they're not.
So
they're not.
The thing that I would say,
tactical in it. They're just goofy. They don't have any really underlying intelligence behind it.
Yeah. So the thing that defines a trickster to me, Xeno, is that they are setting out to do it knowing that they will enjoy having tricked somebody, knowing that the result is actually self-serving and that there is gain for them that is not just monetary or furthering their goal. Okay, that they can actually get some kind of satisfaction from having done it. Okay, so Sid, he really wants to be the Eminence's shadow because he wants to have that power and control from the shadows. So
Lupin really wants the thrill of stealing things.
Right,
yes.
And Goblin Slayer wants all goblins dead. I don't understand.
Goblin Slayer doesn't enjoy it.
What do you mean Goblin Slayer doesn't enjoy it?
He doesn't enjoy it. It's a job. It's a work day for him.
It's a duty. No, it's not even a job. It's a duty. He must do this. It's a compulsion.
He must kill goblins. Okay, it's a compulsion, as Nasuth said. Yes. So this isn't
Goblin
something
Slayer
he's doing to be
abridged
self-serving.
makes him seem like he's enjoying it, but an actual Goblin Slayer, there is no satisfaction. There are always more goblins.
It's just what he has to do. Yeah. Same with Friren. Friren just knows that demons have to die, and this is the way to kill demons, so she does it. Her actual satisfaction, the only these days, comes from finding rare grimoires, expanding her spell library, and taking care of Fern and Stark.
The more we talk about this, the more I am on the side of Trickster heroes aren't a thing. This is just another archetype that someone has called. It's like, oh yeah, my genre of music is 70s inspired, make you feel homely music. I'm like, that's not a genre of music.
So the thing is, the Trickster Hero shows up a lot more in Western and ancient mythology. Okay?
Yeah.
They are lessons and fables in life that is better. The people that seek to be smarter than their opponent are the ones that win. So, like Odysseus, like the other adventure heroes, like Sinbad. They can fight, they can go into something with sword and bow and do these things, but their greatest adventures are always where they get the results and the other person doesn't even know until it's all done. So Sinbad's adventures, where he I don't know, let's take the movie, that was the animated movie, and his goal was to restore the Book of Peace to Syracuse, and his opponent at the time was Eris, the goddess of discord, and he did some swashbuckling on the way there, but the greatest thing he pulled to get the book back was to outsmart the goddess by literally doing the one thing she didn't think he would do, which is literally taking at her word.
You really should have read a Wikipedia article before this.
Take the place of his best friend and die for him. She didn't believe that the self-serving and egotistical Sinbad could ever actually self-sacrifice, but he proved he could. And it tricked her into actually keeping her word and returning the book. So, Odysseus with his adventures and tricking Circe and all these other things, they're all about a hero shouldn't just be sword and bow and nerve. They should be smart. They should be clever. And so it's not so common.
Brer Rabbit is a perfect trickster figure. Holy shit. Yes,
exactly. Brer Rabbit. That was exactly where I was going next. The idea that in his thing, one of the very simplest tales of Brer Rabbit is where he's caught by Brer Fox and says, "Oh, we're going to eat you." "Oh, yes, absolutely. Please eat me. Just don't throw me in that patch of briars. In that patch of brambles. I don't want to go in there." He says, "We're going to cook you and skin you." And "Yes, please do. Just don't throw me in that patch of briars." And eventually, Brer Fox thinks that that's even more mean than anything he could do. Throws him in there, and Brer Rabbit was born and bred in a briar patch and just escapes. You see, convince the opponent that they're doing something they want to do when it's actually something you want to do. So there's all of these Western fables and stories about how being smarter than your opponent is as good as being able to outfight them, if not better. So it is the attitude. It is the
Sinbad.
Concept of a trickster hero is there to make sure that people actually educate rather than just become good at hitting things. So, yeah, it's not as common in anime. Anime has an awful lot of trends of
fairies,
getting stronger through the hard work. Yeah, getting stronger through the hard work and relying on others and teamwork and having one thing you do really well, for example.
Oh, Robin Hood. Yeah, that works. Yeah, I think Robin Hood works as a trickster hero. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole load of these different ideas.
Yeah, Prometheus tricks the gods to steal fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's why I thought it would work well discussing it in anime because of the more rare function of finding a hero that outsmarts the opponents, or even a villain that outsmarts the opponents, rather than just punches them really hard.
Yeah, but even so, like, we've got plenty of instances with characters outsmarting the villains, or so on and so forth. But like, as we've discussed, like, none of them classify as tricksters because they're not getting any form of enjoyment from it. So this is the confusion behind
actually enjoying it. That's why Joseph is enjoying it.
Yeah.
Lupin's enjoying it.
No.
Lupin's enjoying it. Kazuma's enjoying it.
Right.
They absolutely are.
Kazuma is not fucking enjoying dealing with half the shit.
He loves getting one over on everybody else. Every time he thinks he's outsmarted somebody, he is on top of the world.
Yeah, but he's always brought back down immediately.
Yeah, but that doesn't
change
matter.
The attitude.
Right, and again,
just because he's wrong doesn't change him from being a trickster.
No, but being successful or unsuccessful does.
No.
Right? Yeah, no, because the whole thing with like when he's being interrogated, and he finally thinks that he has a one-up on the investigator, and then all of a sudden he's brought down a peg immediately.
He's an unsuccessful. Because he's an unsuccessful trickster doesn't stop him from being a trickster. He's just not good at it.
So now we're adding the caveat that a trickster doesn't actually need to be good at doing the
in a parody show.
Job.
No, he doesn't.
Well, no, but I mean the majority of the examples that we have are parody.
Are they?
Well, apart from Lupin and
Lupin, JoJo, Spice and Wolf. Combat
No
Life, sure.
No Life is not parody, but he's definitely got the attitude of a trickster hero.
Sorry, who isn't?
No Game No Life is not a parody.
No Game No Life is like
I will give you that, though.
It constantly makes reference and parody to other things.
It's full of references and parody, but it is not in itself a parody. It's telling a story.
I'll give No Game No Life as a parody.
Thank you.
I will die on that hill. I don't think No Game No Life's a parody. A parody of what? Individual moments parody other moments in other shows, but the show itself is not a parody.
Bullshit isekai crap.
It's actually doing an isekai quite adequately.
Yeah,
it's actually telling an isekai story, a real one, where they're off in another world and they go off to challenge God. there's no parody about that.
I disagree.
Okay, the show is not serious.
Xeno, is Shangri-La Frontier a parody? Actually, I should be asking Thaylien. Thaylien, is Shangri-La Frontier a parody?
Has he seen it?
I don't think Shangri-La Frontier is a parody. What I've seen
No Game No Life is not a parody.
So is because we've seen parodies of the virtual dive system worlds before. I think that Shangri-La Frontier, yes, we've seen. I think that Shangri-La Frontier is telling its own story. Is telling a story of somebody. Is telling the story of people going into this full dive world and having their experiences, but then going off and playing other games and doing things. It's not trying to parody the full dive system in itself, or the world that it's created.
No,
but it operates under its own rules, and it operates under its own fiction quite clearly.
Wow, we've gotten off into some weeds here. I like it though.
Mm-hmm.
No, but it's. What was I going to even say now?
It's not a serious show in some cases.
What was I going to say?
It makes plenty of references.
Oh no, but it does like. Oh my god! I swear I'm going to stab one of you.
Look, I'm trying. I've got delay.
Oh, fucking god damn it! I hate you both.
I didn't do it that time.
I am actually trying, but there is delay on my end. I started talking before you did, but anyway, neither here nor there.
Right. I think it is parody mostly because of how it portrays gamers and strategies within video games, how video games operate, the stupid shit he does with, oh yeah, I'm going to get all these monsters to jump off a cliff, and then I'm going to use the secret interdimensional vault that I personally have access to and get them all to die from fall damage. And I feel
exploiting video games and knowing that video games can be exploited though, rather than parody.
If that is not parody, I don't know what is.
Instead of just being the best because reasons, he's played a lot of trash games, and so he's used to dealing with stuff that's not this tight, this good, and that is the. I think I don't know. I think it.
So.
I think it's got both. I think kind of like No Game No Life. It's got a blend of both.
Where Sword Art Online plays the full dive VR MMO seriously the entire time, and it comes up with bullshit reasons for why stuff happens successfully.
Yes.
Shangri-La Frontier strives to define a video game like the real world and then abuse the mechanics like real players would, right?
Exactly.
But it takes it.
We're arguing the difference between comedy and parody. I think there are parody elements in Shangri-La Frontier and in No Game No Life that does not necessarily make the entire show a parody in the same way that Combatants Will Be Dispatched or Eminence and Shadow or KonoSuba are, because those are deconstructing the genre through parody, while these other ones are just having fun. They're just being a comedy that uses some parody now and then.
Absolutely agree.
So are we now splitting hairs to this show is a parody as opposed to this show has parody elements?
I think
That's not splitting hairs.
I think so.
That's not splitting hairs. That's not splitting hairs.
It's not like splitting hairs. It is a legitimate
It's not splitting hairs. That's a legitimate definition between a comedy and a parody.
So where Lupin III is a trickster,
and it's a comedy,
Goblin Slayer has trickster-like qualities.
Yes, but isn't one.
I think that is fair. I think that is a fair statement.
I don't know if you realized I was taking the piss when I said that.
You thought you were stating truth.
I wasn't being serious.
Yeah,
because,
just because you're wrong doesn't mean the statement's wrong.
If we start turning around and say like, oh no, actually, but this has this has these sorts of qualities, it's like, yeah, but we could also
I'm disagreeing with Thaylien on this one. I don't think Goblin Slayer has Trickster-like elements. I think he could, if under different circumstances. But he's too tactical. He's more like Frieren.
No, yes, these are tactical. Xeno's the one calling them Trickster elements in that respect. So Goblin Slayer is not a Trickster. I will agree with that.
Right, but my point is, if you're going to start calling things, but this has Trickster-like qualities or parody-like qualities, right? Well, no, that's cunning, that's crafty, that's comedy.
Yeah.
Right?
But I wouldn't say No Game No Life has parody-like qualities. I would say that some of the humor it uses is done through parody, but not all of it, and not the overall tone of the show. Only certain parts, only certain moments.
Yes.
Whereas the entire point of KonoSuba is to parody the isekai hero and the hero's party.
Hold on. Did I just hear Thaylien apologize for interrupting Nasuth?
I do apologize for interrupting you as well. You just get angry and don't listen to me. You're too busy getting frustrated that somebody interrupted you to hear me say, "Oh, sorry about that." You go on. The audience will support me on this one. I do it.
Anyway, fine. So so does going back to the original topic of a character class that I don't think should exist. No Game No Life. Does Shiro and Sora count as tricksters?
I think so.
Sora, yes. Shiro, no.
I want to hear this one now.
Yeah, because Shiro doesn't have the trickster qualities. Shiro's just playing games. She's there to support her brother and to play these games really well. She's not actually out there grandstanding and doing things for the reaction and for being smarter than somebody. She just likes to win the games. So if her brother turns around and says, this is how we do it. We do it by this, overtly tricky manner. Then she'll go along with it because it helps her win. Or she'll agree with him because that's the optimal strategy for winning. I think Shiro's strategic and Sora is tricky.
Hot take: Ted is actually the trickster in this show.
Fair, but that wasn't the question. So, Nasuth, you sounded like you wanted to argue with Thaylien.
Kinda. I don't know if Shiro is always a trickster, but I do feel like she has a high tendency towards doing it to Sora, at the very least.
Yes, but would you count that as more sibling teasing?
Yeah, she's not necessarily a trickster to the world at large, but she does still have that mentality when it comes to her brother.
But what about how she treats... I'm trying to remember the name of the princess. I'm really struggling to remember the name of the princess.
Yeah.
Yeah, how she treats... And how she treats Jabril.
Yeah, I think that's rivalry. That's sort of a rivalry.
They are...
harem rivalry.
No, but like she turns around and tells... Shit, what is her name? The princess. She turns to the princess and says like, act like a dog. You know?
I think that's just control. She has the control over them. This is her servants, and she will treat them as that. Stephanie Dollar, yeah. So because she can order them around, and because she thinks that it's the appropriate thing for hers and her brother's servants to do things, she will do it. Again, I think there's almost like a sibling-style teasing to it, rather than she's not tricking them. She's just telling them to do stuff.
Here's the thing. We need to remember that Sora.
Sorry, Nasuth.
Damn it, Zeta, stop interrupting me! We need to remember that these are not two characters. They are one. They are blank. Is blank
That's true.
a trickster character?
Where they need to be, I would say yes.
Other
times
argue.
I'd say other times they're just tactical, like winning the video game at the very start of the thing. That's just good play and tactics, you know?
I'd argue they're two separate characters, only for the exclusion of one of the episodes where Shiro was erased and Sora had to work it all out and everything.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you can't...
Was it the other way around? No, it was the other way around, wasn't it? Sora was erased and Shiro had to do it.
Apologies, yes, you're right.
Yeah. Shiro had to figure out things by trusting her and her brother that she couldn't remember.
Yeah. What else is there? But yeah, I mean, like, it feels weird that you're both arguing for and against Sora being a trickster and Shiro, you know, so on and so forth. But like, yeah, again, Goblin Slayer, like, no, he's not a trickster. I was like,
no, I think this in the same way that Shiro's not. I don't think that he's doing. I think he's being tactical and planning ahead, but because he's not doing it for the joy of outsmarting somebody.
Would you say that Shiro is compelled to beat games while Sora is having fun, has more fun tricking people?
Yeah, I think that Sora works on the player versus player thing, where anything he can bluff or trick or get worn up on an opponent, that's where he excels. But when it's pure tactics, he's even said as much. When it comes to things like chess, Shiro never loses because she's got the tactics side of things. She's the actual hard calculating tactical side of things. So when they're in the video game to beat the beast people, she's the one that works out the tactic of where they must go, the angles they must fire, you know, what to put Stephanie on the NPCs so she fires at the right time. That's all her. Whereas Sora's job in that is to act it out, to try and convince the opponents that that this is not actually a tactic, that this is not all planned. You know, he has to provide that distraction and convince others, trick them into position.
I wonder if the reason these are so hard to pin down is because there are so many different genres that are, like, we're talking about Lupin. Lupin, even though it is a comedy show, is played more straight, whereas No Game No Life is a comedy show that's not played as straight. Goblin Slayer is super, super straight, but Jujutsu Kaisen, and so is Jujutsu Kaisen, you know. But then you've got JoJo, which is kind of played straight, but with this weird over-the-top tone. Like, it's hard to pin these down, I think, because of the genres.
I think the major crux to at least my issue with the Trickster Hero is if I was to ask you to describe Lupin or Satoru Gojo, you would not only include the word trickster, but also things like crafty, strategic, so on and so forth. These are all words that you would use to describe trickster, right?
I would disagree with you, Zeno. I wouldn't
you can let me
describe
finish
JoJo as tricky.
first.
So, go on.
Right. So the whole point I'm trying to make here is that if you were to describe Goblin Slayer, the only difference is you wouldn't include the word trickster as you would describe Lupin, right? But trickster itself means all the things that you would use to describe Goblin Slayer, right?
I don't know that I would, though. I would call Goblin Slayer calculating, tactical, driven.
Yes.
These are not.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't use those for Lupin?
Because
I would, but not as synonyms for trickster.
See, because trickster does have its own.
Also, I actually wouldn't do that either, because Lupin tends to play it by ear a lot. He may make plans, but they tend to go awry.
Yeah, but he's also made secondary plans.
Sometimes.
And preparations in case the plans fail. And
because he knew that... What was her name? What's the girl that he always fawns over?
Oh, yeah. She's the one that was...
Fujiko.
Fujiko. Yeah. Anyway.
But, like, so, yeah. I feel like Lupin is closer to Han Solo, while Goblin Slayer is closer to, like, I don't know, Obi-Wan from the prequels. Maybe Qui-Gon.
Could be. Yeah, Qui-Gon's a good option.
But even so, like, I feel that there's very little between them that actually makes them that different, apart from this one attitude of being
which
a dick.
defines the difference between... That one attitude is what defines the difference between somebody who is clever and tactical and somebody who is a trickster. It is actually a definition that exists, and it's that attitude that does that.
But my point is, you would say that Lupin is clever and cunning and a trickster, when trickster in itself refers to clever and cunning.
No.
Right?
Not entirely. It also refers to the attitude.
It may those may be part of it, but
that's what
they're
I mean.
not exclusive.
It is part of it.
They're also they're not the exclusive. I think roguish is much more important than clever and cunning in terms of exclusivity. I would not say that Goblin Slayer is in any way roguish. He may be clever and cunning, but he's not roguish. He's not lighthearted. These are other important exclusive things that separate them.
Here's a question for you. Can you name
like a Venn
any
diagram.
characters? Can you name any characters that are roguish, right? That do not have the same characteristics as a trickster?
Yamcha.
Yeah.
He's an idiot.
Roguish?
Yes,
yeah, when he was the Desert Fox.
He's a lovable rogue.
Not so much in Z, but in Dragon Ball, 100%.
Could you go with someone else? Because I don't remember Yamcha in Dragon Ball at all. No, I'm asking.
What's his name? The pig from Ranma Half. What's his name? The one that's good. Yeah, him. Because he's very roguish. He's very roguish. He's independent. He's savvy in his own way. He's a good fighter, but he's definitely in no way a trickster. Everybody can see through any plan he has, and he does. And even if he wants to think that he's getting one up on somebody, never is.
See, I wouldn't call Ryuga roguish either. Just call him an idiot.
You know? Yes,
he gets lost.
That's the thing.
He gets lost constantly.
Yes. But that, again, is the roguish character type without being a trickster ends up with them being an idiot.
I think
that's how I would argue that. Without being the trickster on top.
I think my biggest problem with a lot of these terms is them being synonyms. Is the fact that I looked at the genres for Combatants Will Be Dispatched, because we added that to the system prior to recording this, and one of the genres I am is borderline adult stuff, right?
Right.
And I'm like, why does this genre even exist? Right? And this is the question I'm asking about the Trickster heroes. Why does this archetype exist? Does it even exist? Is a Trickster hero just a strategist plus a playful attitude?
Yeah, strategist plus a jokester is a trickster. Somebody who outplays the opponent and enjoys doing it and does it for the satisfactory gain of their ego.
So would it not be better to have a description of a character either as trickster, which means, you know, the strategist and the joker, or just joker and strategist as the defining qualities, and not add in the complication of an extra term, which then compounds the problem?
It's a hero who's more chaotic good as opposed to lawful good, right? It's somebody who's not afraid to. It's somebody who's chaotic good as opposed to lawful good. It's somebody who's not afraid to break norms.
Yes.
And play trick, you know, play jokes and stuff, as opposed to somebody who has a duty.
Right.
I will add to this. There is the fact that Trickster has the negative connotations as well, in the fact that Loki is the trickster god, for example.
Yeah.
Tricksters
Same
are
with Coyote
not
and
always good characters. Yeah, tricksters are not always good characters. Tricksters can be fully evil characters and enjoy the thing in a purely egotistical fashion for the harm of others as much as their own gain.
But that is the trickster, not the trickster hero.
Yes.
So that's the difference between a trickster.
That's a trickster antagonist as opposed to a trickster protagonist.
So that's the two sides of that coin. Okay. You see, the roguish hero is different from the roguish villain.
Right,
and you can actually think of that difference in your head when you do that. You can think of a roguish villain, right? And you can think of a couple of examples in anime, and you can think of a roguish hero, but not so many anime examples.
But my point is, though, that, you know, we've been talking at length about these various different you know, characters within anime, whether or not they are a trickster, whether or not they're not, whether or not you know, even what classifies as parody. We've had great debate about this stuff, but isn't just adding more terms to the pool of, you know, character types not just conflating the issue of, oh, well, tell me about this? Huh?
I don't feel that at all. I think of it as a Venn diagram.
Exactly.
There are some basic terms, but to characterize a term that contains some of, or even all of those things, to make a different character's archetype.
It's the difference between exclusive characteristics and overlapping characteristics.
Yes. So somebody who's purely cunning isn't a trickster, the same as somebody who's purely devious isn't a trickster. Okay, somebody who's purely egotistical and out for self-gain over others isn't a trickster unless they are, you know, cunning and devious as well. You know, unless they're able to follow through on that, they're not a trickster. Or if they go about that gain in a completely different fashion. Somebody who goes about getting into fights to prove they're the better fighter and always enjoys it when they win isn't a trickster.
You have to remember that Xeno can't read, so he probably hasn't, you know, had been exposed to as many literary devices like this as we have.
Yeah, okay. That's mean, but I agree.
Well, he watches anime, and anime is all the same, yeah.
Okay, I get where you're coming from, Xeno. I do get where you're coming from. The idea that putting extra terms in seems to complicate the matter. But just as with anything else in the world, sometimes you need to get into precision definitions of that encompass more than just the one thing. Okay? And it's the reason, just to blue sky an idea, that England has 20 different types of rain. Words for it, right? So there's a difference between a drizzle. There's a difference between a drizzle and spitting.
Yeah.
There's a difference between raining. So there are differences. You know.
I thought when you said like there's 20 different types of rain, like, I'm sorry, what? Oh yeah, there's hydrogen-rich rain. There's hydrogen-deprived rain. I'm like,
no,
what
so
the shit?
Different words, different types of rain, different words for rain. So, and the Inuit have, 30 different words for the types of snow there exist.
Okay.
They have different terms of terminology for different types of snow that exist. So some that you can use for construction, some that you'll use for insulation, and so on. You have to get to these little precision definitions.
The problem I have with this sort of thing is it becomes very buzzwordy, right? It becomes very term of the moment to sell a thing. Isekai, even though isekai anime existed for fecking years, right? The term itself wasn't popularized in the Western world until I'd argue Sword Art Online, right?
That's a fair argument, even though it isn't an isekai. Yeah,
but I would argue, but the problem was that we come up with these more terms, and things become so specialized and confusing. What's the difference? Yeah, we get what was there was an anime that we had a few seasons ago. Sorry, Nasuth. We had an anime a few seasons ago where this guy became max level at level 2, and all his stats became infinite. You remember the one? I think you were watching it.
Yes, Thaylien. I was the one that reviewed it, and it wasn't very good at all.
Does that count as an isekai if the character gets transported from one fantasy world to another fantasy world?
Yes.
Right?
It's a specific thing of isekai. The term literally means in another world.
Right. But in Reborn to Master the Sword, right? I can't remember the full title. But to Reborn to Master the Sword...
That's a reincarnation show.
But is it, though? Because effectively, everything that character knew is no longer there. It's all gone because it is centuries in the future. But
it's still classified as a reincarnation show.
Right.
Because he's not in a different world. Even though everything has changed, that's a ship of Theseus argument. Where if you replace every single part of the ship of Theseus over time, is it still the same ship?
Very good question.
Yeah. So, until you solve that particular one, or you've made a decision on that, reincarnation shows will just be reincarnation shows to me.
But again, we could go into the whole. I'm teasing at this point, so please don't.
Yeah, go on.
Right. But we could also go down the whole multiverse theory, where time travel is only just transferring to different multiverses.
Yes. Unless you're Terminator, where you're actually affecting the same one in a direct string.
We will not ever talk about
depends on if you're talking about the
we don't want to break out the diagrams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not breaking out the diagrams again. So the time travel stuff, it depends again on which method of time travel you're thinking of. Because in, for example, Dragon Ball Z, it's clearly multiverse theory. Because Future Trunks' future doesn't change, even though he went back in time. The future he goes back to is still the one he left, just with him being more powerful.
I think the Trickster is very closely related to the Fool, right? And I think that's part of the problem. But I think the Fool does it accidentally or to bring joy to others, whereas the Trickster tends to do it on purpose or to bring joy to themselves.
Yes, it is that self-serving attitude that.
But it's still very clownish. It's still very, silly.
I wouldn't say clownish. I'd say performative.
Performative.
But the clowns do perform.
The clowns are performative. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, but they're not.
This actually that really highlights my problem with this. Is like, using different terms means different things for different people, right? There is no clear-cut way of actually underlining any of this stuff, and as a result, I feel we've massively, as a society, conflated the whole gamut of genres, defining characteristics, so on and so forth within media, that it becomes so confusing as to, well, if I say to you that this anime is the berserk of isekais, what's my interpretation of that versus someone else's interpretation of it?
Well, the difference between your interpretation of that versus somebody else's is that somebody else's will be incorrect. If you said it, I'd believe you. If somebody else said it, I would not. Right? Because you actually
Zeno says no game,
in
no
an
life
objectively correct fashion.
Zeno says no game, no life is a parody, so you got to believe him.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You've got to pick him. You've got to pick him. So I think Zeno's wrong about No Game No Life being a parody because even though scenes of it parody other things and reference other things, it's actually telling its own story and has its own heroes that are not referential to anything else.
Yeah, but KonoSuba's telling its own story.
That was me being a trickster, right? That was me just now being a trickster.
Yes. He's got one over on us, got us into that line of thing, and he's enjoyed it. That's being a trickster. But
what a cunning
No Game No Life
fool.
is 100% every scene and setting in that is designed to parody the whole isekai genre.
Right.
Okay?
I think
and
we
it's
should.
purposeful and scripted.
I think we should wrap up. Right?
Yeah, I think we've been doing conclusions
time.
for about half an hour now.
No, I think it's like we've been voicing our points of view. Like my point of view is Trickster as a character archetype should not exist, right? And we should have more granular terms to actually describe characters.
Right. I think that the term trickster has been around longer than England and has been used in mythology since for thousands of years. And so I think that it's the granular terms that are confusing things rather than the archetype. I think adding granular terms to this will actually just make the description longer and longer and longer when one word does it.
I think we
Why
should have
say
done
many word when one word do good?
I think we should have done more research on Wikipedia and literary sites before we really dove into this one. I think that's the big problem.
Sorry, I thought I'd done a lot of thinking into the wikis, but I think it's coming up against arguments voiced from a perspective that I wouldn't have expected in the form of Xeno. So that's where I think.
But that's good though. That is good. It makes us think and try to dissect and put them into words, whereas we may have just accepted them blindly before.
I mean, like for me,
in the way that. Sorry.
One of my biggest bugbears within my career is people using words that they do not know what they mean. My favorite one will forever be concurrently, right? The word concurrently means literally at the same
time. Yeah.
Yes.
Right? It is
not consecutively, not staggered, concurrent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
and
over the course
if
of a
you
day.
tell me that your website needs to facilitate 5,000 concurrent users, right? That means 5,000 users per second, right?
Yes. At the exact same time.
Which, if I math
Is why
quick...
Steam stats can be confusing as well.
God, tell me about it. Right, so if I say 5...
Oh, okay, well...
No. So, 5,000 users per second is 18 million per hour.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make that per day.
Good maths.
Right? That's 432 million people per day.
Yep, that is a sizable fraction of the population of Earth.
How would you say it if they mean they could have 5,000 users at any one time, but not all the time? How would you phrase that?
Peak.
At most 5,000 concurrent users. Right? And then you give me an average, right? So
average concurrent users would be in the closer to hundreds or maybe low thousands.
Yeah.
Maybe 1,000 at most, but that's peak concurrent.
But it needs to be able to actually handle 5,000 at a time.
Yeah. So, like, it could be a simple case of, we only get, like, 1 a second, but we need to be able to handle 5,000 at a time in case of some marketing crap. Right. But the whole point is, to me, it's language, right? You know, you say specific
language
words
is
mean
imperfect,
specific
unfortunately.
things. Yeah, well, I think people's use of language.
The overuse of literally when they mean figuratively and things like that.
Language is descriptive, not proscriptive. Or prescriptive, sorry, prescriptive.
Anyway, right.
Yes.
So, Which side of this table are you on? Are you
Did you make it all the way
more
through?
granular? Yeah, did you even get this far? What you call it? Yeah,
are you jumping to the roundup because we got off topic so far?
Yeah. So do you think that what you call it, words that have broader meaning should be used more and get rid of the granular stuff, or should we stick to granular stuff and get rid of the broader meaning words? But anyway,
also,
right.
What's our current star rating for interrupting each other this thing? I think we deserve a negative 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Because we've played into that so heavily.
Right.
Well,
it was for the bit. I committed to the bit.
That is also one of the problems with these more free-flowing discussions is something hits you in the middle of somebody else's sentence because of what they've said, and you don't want to lose it
It's like if someone had made a button that allowed us to raise our hands and let the rest of the cast know that they wanted to talk. Anyway.
Why didn't you do that, Xeno?
I'm going to stab you in a second. Right. Moving on to the supporter questions. So, first of all, we got Zrugel saying, thank you for watching this episode of Kanpai Cast. By watching it for more than 2.43 seconds, you have been automatically enrolled in our consumer information collection service. You, the viewer, hereby surrender all your personal data, including but not limited to your browser history, innermost thoughts, and the contents of your fridge to Mega Data Corp, a wholly owned subsidiary of Kanpai Cast for eternity. You agree to our relentless collection, storage, and sale of your data to shadowy third parties while we cackle maniacally in our own server farms. I'm not quite sure why we're in the server farms. If you would like to opt out, please scroll down and press the like button for no more than one time. Use index finger to indicate how many times.
We'll use your index. Yeah, there you go.
Right. If you would like to waive all rights to complain about creepy, overly specific pop-ups, and you said poop-ups, and be subject to targeted ads for questionable products, please hit that dislike button or abstain from any button whatsoever. But then depress the dislike button and then press the like button. Thank you, and please enjoy the memes. Right. Jewel says, was that too long? Sorry, it was. I feel like that was super long. It's not my intent to punish Xeno. Was it too long is actually my question for the week. Yes, it was.
No, it needs to be twice as long.
No, ignore them.
I feel like I could read that at double speed, and that would be interestingly funny. But I do agree with the release of the content of your fridge. I will cook fantastic meals with it. You don't get any.
Moving on, Ricus Van Muzel Derolo the 7th asks, Xeno, please tell me Favchar.
My Favchar is Char Aznabel.
I was actually going to say the letter E.
Yeah.
But,
His fave character.
Who's my favorite character?
Vash the Stampede.
Fuck off.
From Amagami-sama.
Mm-hmm.
Waifu for Laifu.
I can't not. It's Shofu Kamachi.
Yeah.
Nice. 1. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee Flavored Thaylien asks, is the real reason that Xeno doesn't keep playing gacha games or games like Uma Musume because he has a crippling gambling addiction that he's trying to manage? No. No. But I don't have the time.
It's because he wants to avoid being captured by Tet and forced to play games for eternity.
Oh man, that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
But no, it's no, genuinely though, it's just simply I do not have the time to deal with it, and
same reason I can't keep up with Warframe, even though I kind of went back to it for a little while. I just can't. I can't do it. It's too much.
He has 3 accounts. That's why he can't keep up with it.
No, I'm only doing the one right now, and I still can't keep up with it.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Huge time commitments. Right. Moving on
secretly,
to...
that's the reason I don't play gacha games.
Moving on to the comments from last week. First of all, with the news, Strombus Shell says, oh, wait, wrong one. I'm feeling anime today.
Good.
Okay. Thanks for the news. Zrugal says, news! Oh man, that McDonald's and Pokemon card story was crazy. Exclusivity is annoying. I wish they would have made enough to flood the market, which would have done two things. A, make it so that everyone could get the card that they want, and B, make it so that scalpers can't get any money. Also, food wasting is never cool. I completely agree. Don't waste food.
Well, let us know what you thought about this week's McDonald's story.
Yep, cool. Thanks for the news, guys. I'm looking forward to Thursday's mid-season review. Hope you don't mind. I watch it on one time. No, you watch it as fast as
you must watch it at 0.5
as long as you can. As long as you can understand what we're saying, we don't mind.
Yeah. Zrugal says, Kanpai. Really glad Kaiju number 8.
We're on to the cast questions.
Comments from the cast.
Yes. There you go.
Yes. Right. So Zrugal says, Kanpai. Really glad Kaiju number 8 is still good. I'm kind of glad Reborn as a vending machine is good, air quotes. I kind of changed my mind after the first 3 episodes. I actually haven't been watching anime lately, but I'm glad this didn't drop off a cliff. Night of the Living Cat sounds really absurd. I really have to pick it up. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to finish.
You should.
I started watching Apocalypse Bringer Minogra because it reminded me of another anime that I don't remember the name of right now. It wasn't Berserk. But dropped it after like 3 episodes because it just wasn't what I wanted. I was hoping it would be more Civilization, the anime, rather than whatever that was. If it gets really good, I could pick it up again. But I felt it pretty much meh about it. I don't think you're gonna... I assume that's what it's supposed to be.
No, it's 2 hmms. It's and then another
Okay. I started Water Magician, but it wasn't too impressed, and I didn't make it very far. But if it's good, as Thaylien says, I guess I'd have to pick it up. Nope.
I did upsell a little bit. Okay, so if you're interested in it, if you've tried it and you don't like it so far, don't worry.
Right. Wow, dang. I guess I'll have to find Bullet 2.
Hell yeah.
So,
correct.
I started Bullet. I wouldn't say it's a 5-star must-watch from the beginning, but it is getting higher the more I'm getting into it, so it is worth.
That's 100%
I'm definitely
fair.
getting higher the more I get into it.
I am both happy and relieved. Dress Up Darling and Dan are still excellent. Yep. Those memes were great this week. Good job finding the memes. Meme finders. Yes, that was a Ghost Stories reference.
Good job finding memes, meme finders.
Okay. Strombus Shell says, Spinners! Thank you. I'm honored to contribute that idea to the show. Oh. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Clavitas started okay. Sucks it went downhill so fast. I'll be dropping it too.
Yeah.
I don't timestamp things like Zrugal, but Thaylien made a pun that made me laugh. I appreciate the puns. Don't give
what I do.
Fuel. Good memes this week. I laughed really heartily. Kanpai. And talking about the memes, it's time for memes.
Meme time. It's meme time, baby. Most of ours come from Reddit. We have if you go down in the description below and join the Discord, you can also give us submit memes for us to see on the show. Somebody kindly gathers those up for us so we don't even see them ahead of time. You get our honest reactions to them. Speaking of, we've got 5 this week, so let's crack on into DM, you find a book in the chest. Barbarian player, I try to read it. DM, roll for intelligence. Rolls in that one. Barbarian player, this is definitely ink.
Oh my god.
I don't know what that's from. That's amazing. Alright, number 2.
Magic is evil. Let's use guns instead.
What are they, Americans?
Yes, all Russians.
No way, can I get a picture? Sure. Who was that? Dude, that was Jigglypuff. Oh.
Poor little Kirby.
Okay.
I mean, poor little Jigglypuff.
I'm just a typical 13-year-old student. My hobbies include fighting adults, building motorcycles, and caring for my grandmother. Every girl in my school wants to hold my hand. But the only hand I want to hold is my grandmother's. Granny, do you need another blanket?
Oh my god, he's too tall to even fit in the door. And the final one. My mom saw my figure and wrapped tissue paper around it. I mean, that's actually
a little dress.
Kind of a cute little dress.
Cute, but...
Yeah.
I wonder what it looked like before that. I can't imagine.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Right, onto my memes. It is clear in the lease, no pets are allowed in the apartment. Sorry. Okay, I'll make an exception because she looks very polite. This is a take on an actual meme with an actual cat. Right. Next one. Actual exam? My exam preparation.
Oh my.
Next one's a video meme.
よくリュグナーたちを倒した。偉いぞ。あんや、ピーナッツが好き。人参は嫌い。カリカリ。何時だと思ってるわけ？明日は。
Choose your son.
Same voice actor. It's flawless.
It's crazy, isn't it? I can't believe she has that range. Would you be friends with benefits with me? Ah, yes, the negotiator.
Oh, God.
And my last two are video memes.
It's Godzilla! It looks like Godzilla, but due to international copyright laws, it's not. Still, we should run like it is Godzilla! Though it isn't.
Thank you, Austin Powers.
And my last one. Why isn't he getting any of my signs? The only signs I know.
Oh my God.
That was such a dumb moment in that movie.
It was, but it played well into the theme.
All right. That's enough of that.
Yeah. All right. So this is the correct
cool.
Jaeger.
Oh my God.
Looking for retro anime fans that aren't annoying.
Sorry, can't help it. Xeno's not even as big a retro fan as I am.
That's true. What anime is this? Rent a Girlfriend. Is that an insult or a name of the anime? It's an insult of an anime.
Next one's a video meme.
Quick video meme.
Grunkle Stan, are you wearing a blindfold? Nah, but with these cataracts, I might as well be. What's that, woodpecker?
Those who want elves will forever love these characters.
Oh, right.
It's Junpei. He's in there. He's absolutely going to strip them. Every single one to find their marks.
Yep. And last one's also a video meme.
Oh my God.
What the fuck? The fuck? Alright, Xeno's starting out with a video meme.
We will not be going to Mars anymore. We have the technology to travel the distance. But after discovering that Frieza might be out there, we decided to not fuck it out.
That is a fair point.
The proper use for AI.
Yep. Number 2. Japan creates animal girls. Charles Darwin. I think I'm done with evolution.
Yeah.
Next one's a video.
It's a pleasure.
Is
this your first time, princess?
I'm pretty certain I'm not a princess.
I'm helping you relate to Koyomi, Goober.
See, even they say Marine, Xeno.
Can you handle your
That's where I got it from.
princess?
Ah.
Never had any, so I have no way of knowing.
Get out. I'm drinking champagne.
You're a bro!
She's way too pushy.
Don't forget about me, Maureen. Come on. I came all the way here because I missed you.
Fine. How much can you spend?
I'm sorry. I don't have much today, only 800 million. Will that do?
This goes on a lot longer than I thought it did.
How much cash does my princess over here have to spend on me?
Oh dear.
Naz is gonna get that. Next one.
Oh no, I know Monarch. Amelie is absolutely hilarious sometimes.
I'm glad I don't know.
Scuff Queen is Scuff.
What the
Oh my.
Xeno, how come
Sorry.
you didn't mark this one as NSFW?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I should have. I'm sorry.
I thought that was Thalien's domain.
Sorry, I
Lord.
got that one wrong.
Oh dear.
Also,
and
I completely sympathise with the sentiments in this meme.
I'm sure Xeno does too.
Completely correct.
No.
Right, and the last two are videos.
Congratulations on passing, Fern. What spell did you ask for?
Guess.
Perhaps a laundry spell?
Close. It's actually a laundering spell.
What?
Make it rain, Kane.
Much better spell.
Money laundering.
Yeah.
Much better spell.
Yep. Better than being poor.
Hey Gino, were you
Oh, no.
the dungeon job I asked for?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The perfect job for a hunter like you, Ginu.
Welcome to the Predator Rehabilitation Program, where we focus on becoming minors and not dating them. Very funny, Gino. Oh, hey. All this mining really helps you to not think about kids, am I right? I'm not like you. Oh. Gee, you must be into some disgusting shit. What? No, not like that. Let me guess. Scat play? Huh? No, that's gross. Animals? What the f***, man? Oh god. Incest? Oh yeah, you're a disgusting freak. People like you make me sick. Disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. Anyways, you want to see pictures of my 12-year-old ex-girlfriend?
Holy shit.
Oh dear god, what is that horrible sound? Probably just one of the hunters killing a leftover monster.
I mean, you're not wrong. He is definitely killing a leftover monster.
There you go.
Yes, definitely.
Oh. Good lord.
Right. That's it. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching this show or listening. Both. It's all good. I'm out of drink. I'm out of drink again, guys. I'm having problems. I'm having withdrawal. Right. Proper ending.
That's
Thank you
called
all for
being
watching.
thirsty. It's not withdrawal.
Thank you all for watching and or listening to this episode. And
Get a
now
drink,
it's
Cena.
time to bottoms up. And
And Kanpai.
hate you both. I fucking hate you both.